What's up, welcome to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Jungkook's solo debut album, Golden. Yes, Jungkook, of course, the youngest member of BTS and the last member to unveil a debut solo album. Of course, in the last year, all the BTS members, in the wake of the BTS temporary hiatus, have been giving us solo material, many of them for the very first time. And Jungkook, I think, has been one to warrant a lot of attention and hype for what his solo music would entail, primarily because of really just his immense popularity. I think he is kind of unquestionably the most popular individual in BTS. Of course, they're all quite popular, as we know. It became pretty clear that there was a lot of commercial viability to Jungkook as a soloist. Look no further than his feature on Charlie Puth's song Left Right last year, which really exploded as a song, even though I don't even think it's that great of a song, to be honest. Coming into this Golden album, we saw this manifest tenfold with the release of Seven. The song Seven, featuring Lotto, famously sampling Saturday Love by Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle, a really cool sample, and also I think helping shine light on a really cool song as well. That's by no means mainstream, but Seven, which has both incredibly catchy hooks and lyrics in general, and also very lust-filled, explicit lyrics, not something we're used to from the BTS songs normally. Seven has gone on to become the fastest song to reach 1 billion streams on Spotify. Speaking once again to Jungkook's commercial viability and immense popularity, that record was only just reset earlier this year by Miley Cyrus's massive hit Flowers. But down at the BTS Army at Your Own Peril, Jungkook has reset the mark. So coming in with all this anticipation and clearly a proof of concept that this guy is a hit maker, I think a lot of expectations were laid on Golden. And I have to say, there's things to like about this, but I think Jungkook doesn't really have much of a musical identity established yet. Notably, he didn't do any co-writing or co-producing on this record. There's a lot of writers here, a lot of big-name writers here. I think for me, the biggest takeaway with Golden and Jungkook as a soloist thus far is that he is, I think, without a doubt, the most integrated K-pop star into just the Western music industry from a mainstream sense. Like, Jungkook was featured on the Kid Laroi comeback single that just came out. Jungkook has an album, with co-writes from Ed Sheeran and Shawn Mendes, and co-producing from people like Blood Pop and John Bellion. We're talking A-list songwriters, A-list stars, A-list producers. And Jungkook, and making music almost exclusively in English as well. So we just haven't really seen this before. And of course, you're seeing this success again with Seven becoming such a massive hit this year, one of the biggest hits of 2023, to be honest. To me, that's the takeaway with Golden, is that Jungkook is just part of the game now. And, he's the youngest member of BTS, only 26. In theory, he has more time before he would be required to do the military service with South Korea. But it sounds like he's going to do it soon at the end of the year, just so that all the BTS boys can have that in the past, at the same time. But man, it feels like the momentum for the guy is really quick as a soloist, and maybe when the group reunites, his real inroads that he has made as an artist will somehow propel BTS even further, which seems like a crazy thing to say, because how could BTS get any bigger? But yeah, something to think about. And yeah, so in terms of the music, just kind of getting into it here. It's a short record, really 10 songs, 30 minutes. You have this clean version of Seven once again. And again, like, just to reiterate, if you haven't heard Seven for some reason, he's literally talking about fucking you 7 days a week and like saying as such. Like, it's really funny to hear like the youngest guy in the boy band be the one to give you the most explicit lyrics once he bursts out of his shell and does some solo work. Pretty funny. But yeah, going into it, the second single, 3D, featuring Jack Harlow, kind of funny, kind of funny lyrically, really reminiscent of, I guess, like, Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, like 2000s era pop, I suppose. Again, just kind of reiterating that Jungkook is a horny motherfucker, like it's all sex fueled again. Some of my least favorite songs in this, though, are the electronic collaborations. You have Closer to You featuring Major Lazer and Please Don't Change featuring DJ Snake. I think both the production for Major Lazer and DJ Snake just really dull, really boring. And Jungkook, like he is a nice vocalist. He can fit on kind of anything. He can fit on those songs, but I just think those beats in particular are just quite boring and dull, to be honest. Uh, yeah, but kind of going through it some more. Standing Next to You, kind of funky. I like the horns on that. The bass sounds pretty cool. That one's not bad. Yes or No, I think this would be my favorite song on Golden after Seven, or apart from Seven. Love Jungkook's vocal performance on this, almost a bit of a hip hop flow. And this is the song featuring the Ed Sheeran co-write. I think that one stands out, just probably just more memorable than some of these other songs. Hate You. This is the one co-written by Shawn Mendes. I'm curious if that was maybe like a Shawn Mendes leftover that Jungkook was given. Again, he didn't write anything, so like these are all songs that came to him. Hate You, just kind of simple keys and you know sticky lyrics though. Hating you is the only way it doesn't hurt. Like to me, that's I think some of the most affecting messaging on the album is what you get in Hate You, and on the other end, of course, all the explicit stuff in the song like Seven. Somebody, I really like the pulsing drums from a production standpoint. Too Sad to Dance, acoustic track, pretty solid. Again, Jungkook vocally strong enough to hang out on less in your face production, such as that song. Shot Glass of Tears, similarly, that's really just piano. So, on the other hand, as I said before, that's a lot of different production styles. That's a lot of different vibes. He can do really big, he can do quiet. And the thing, though, like I said, is this album doesn't really have, I think, a cohesiveness to it. And Jungkook, because he's not someone who is deeply involved in the creation of his music, even if he, says he curated this album and approved everything with it, it just doesn't feel like that piece is there. But that, again, like the hit making ability is there. There's stickiness to it. So, and there's nothing wrong with having people help you make music, of course. That's how it goes. So, I'd be curious if anything pops out of this as a big hit. Again, Seven, already a monster hit. I mean, if he doesn't have another hit off the album, it's quite all right. I'm curious if Yes or No could be that song. To me, that's the one with the most potential. But yeah, Jungkook, Golden, I think not as eye-opening as V's Layover, V becoming a jazz singer with a smoky voice. That was something new and cool. I think Jungkook, he's more in line with expectations on this album, and that's okay too. But let me know, how'd you feel about Jungkook's Golden? And now that we've got all the solo debuts from the BTS boys, what was your favorite? I think to me, my overall favorite's probably RM, hit with Lonely, which is about a year old now. But I didn't dislike any of them, which is pretty cool. I think we know, though, that BTS, a group better together than they are apart, so we'll be looking forward to that reunion hopefully sometime at the end of 2025, early 2026 by the timing of it. But yeah, let me know, what was your favorite BTS solo album? How'd you feel about Jungkook's Golden? And for more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.